So this last question, right? I know I'm going to get some crap for, but when you look at Pun's artistic ability, right? Was Pun more of the type write my verses and then we figure out the hook as a collective? Like he might get help on the hook, or was he good at coming up with hooks too?
Both. He'll write just verses. He had a beat that he loved. I forgot who made it. But it was a beat that he loved. It was just, he never used the beat at all in the real song. He just had this beat playing constantly because he could write rhymes and verses to this. And he told me, this is the beat I used to write my verses. It was a boom bap beat, hard shit. But he loved just writing verses to that. It could be different subjects. And then in hooks, he likes the little melody hooks. Camaraderie, Trace. He had a lot of musical shit with him, man. So he uses beats to do different things. Hooks. He comes on his own hooks. Always came up with his hook. Always came up with all his ideas, just like me. We come from the beginning, the scratch of the beat, to making a whole fucking musician, a whole song, a structured song with a hook, bridge, verses. Pun, my brother used to do that shit from the beginning, just like me.
Those choruses where he has other people singing on it, he wrote those choruses?
He wrote all his choruses. Come Back to Me, Punisher. I told you about Miss Jones. He wrote the one, Kids, get out of here. There's a homicide. He wrote that for Busta. Busta didn't perform it. I wanted him to. He could have did better. But he wrote that for Busta. I Ain't a Player, I Just Crush a Lot. He came up with that himself. Fuck a lot. You know what I'm saying? The whole OJ thing. He came up, I ain't a player, I just fuck a lot. He came up with that. So he come up with everything. Yeah, he was a complete artist. I helped him with certain things, but he only needed my help only when he was bombarded with work. He had too much shit to do. He'll tell me, yo, Q, go ahead, do that. And then if you like it, he kept it. It's not like he just kept my shit. You got to be hot. So he used that, certain things I did.
Because to me, I think that if you're talking as far as rapper wise, bar for bar, Pun is a better rapper than you. But if you're talking artist wise, I think you're a.
Well, I'm not even comparing.
I think that
I take the jewels and I'm humbled by the fact that, you know, I influenced everything and he influenced me.
Right.
So I take that as precious. I don't want to even go into who's better, who's not. You know, people got their preferences. To me, Pun is the best ever. So you ask me that, it's like, of course I'm second. I said second to none unless it's Pun. I said that in my rhyme. So, you know,
but I'm saying for me,
besides being a friend, I'm a fan. So his artistic level to me is top notch. You know, his lyrical ability is you can't compete with that. You know what I'm saying?
For me, lyrically, he's better than you, but I think for me as an overall artist, well-rounded because of your songwriting and your singing ability, to me, that part makes you better in that aspect. Do you see what I'm saying?
I appreciate that. But those are all tools and gifts that we got that when you put a team together, it's needed to have something, to form something like Terror Squad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We all had our ability that we had, our gifts. It's not like niggas put us on because, oh, yeah, my man. No, we had gifts and we really took the art seriously and we put it. So all those little elements that we all had, Stace had them, you know what I'm saying? Baloney had them. Fucking Prospect had some, you know, we all had and brought something into the Terror Squad that made us, you know, I had my niche. You know, Pun had the biggest niche at the end of the day because he had the drive also and energy and just the character to do a lot of things. Not just because you're an artist that you just could write and stuff. No, you got to do the whole full package. You know what I'm saying? So we learn from each other in different ways. You know what I'm saying? I learned from my brother, you know, how to get that mic and control the crowd. You know, when I was nervous, when I used to do, you know, hype man for him. So it was a learning experience that we all got. We shared our talents with each other. But yeah, it was a perfect. I like to say we all had our little spices. You know what I'm saying? To add it to the whole forming of Terror Squad. But yeah, when it comes to me and I label myself, like I look at myself, I know what I got, I know my attributes and I know my strengths when it comes to music. And I always took pride in it. From beginning to end, I like to write my songs. You know what I'm saying? And my way too. Like I'm fucking stubborn with it. You know, unless you could change my mind with something, then I gotta give it up to you. But not too many niggas to change my mind that's better than me.
Yeah, but you see, like for me, like I know you kind of like got a little upset that like me and Lou was making fun of you with the singing part and stuff, the audio, and all
I
stuff.
wanted
No,
to
no,
fucking ask.
but get this though, okay? The reason why I do that is because I actually really do admire your skill talent when it comes to those
And
things.
I know you do, brother.
Because
I know you told me whenever you get a chance, you do. You seriously, you do. It's just when you get two niggas, when you get two niggas laughing at you, it's always gonna be like, okay, you was overdoing it.
right, right.
It's like, all right, dickheads, all right, that's not that funny. You know, it was that shit. It was like y'all niggas kept going with the, and it sounded like a fucking retard whale. So I was like, yo, yo, my niggas, you gonna stop now? You gonna keep making fun of my shit? Come on now. Like, yeah, I kept on with it. When you keep on with it, it's when it starts getting annoying. So I was like, fuck y'all niggas.
But get this though, okay? Because like I notice the little things. So I know like when I listen to your records, I hear the little stuff, the way that you do it, where it's like layering of the vocals, how you have a little
Yeah.
ad lib here, how you place this part right here and stuff. It's the little stuff that makes it stand out, really, you know, but not like the train, like you have to really be trained to notice all that stuff, you know, to the
Yeah.
average
You have to
person, they're
be,
just like, oh, it just sounds good,
yeah,
you know? So
right. They don't know what it takes, the details, the little
right.
details that it takes to get that grand scheme of
Exactly.
things.
So
Yeah.
then like when I pick up on all that stuff, that's what makes me feel like as an overall artist, how you put it together is kind of like a Picasso. You know what I mean? Like it's like a overall, like you kind of like
Exactly right.
cover every
That's
single
exactly right.
part.
It takes work, man. It takes talent to do that. You know what I'm saying? It takes that's why I consider myself more like the maestro nigga,
Right.
you know, after that time, because it was like I always been doing that. I just didn't know it was called, and I just consider myself a regular rapper, but it's beyond that. Like, I'm a musician with real, and I can do that with any kind of gender songs, with R&B, with country. I don't give a fuck. I know what my music, the music or the beat, the melody's telling me. So that's just a talent that I do have, and I appreciate you even pointing that out, because that's what I like to be really remembered for. Shit like that, the little things that I did, or how he put that together, how he said that. That's, you know, critiquing something, and that's when I try to strive for perfect shit, so the best I could do. And I look at myself. That's why it takes me long to write songs before.
Yeah, because Kano told me, right? Because Kano told me, like, this motherfucker takes forever. Like, he'll pull up the session and then he wants to add this to it. He wants to add this to it. The next
Little
day,
stupid
he wants to
things,
keep on adding more and more to it. Oh, let me layer this. Let me do this. And it's such a prolonged process because you are looking at a
But that's
vision.
also not being prepared. Like, when I say not being prepared, it's like also working in the studio and doing things right there on the fly. Like, when I took time later on, I did the Missing Link album, I really sat down in my room and fucking just broke night and wrote fucking 12 songs, you know, 20 songs. But I already had the idea mastered from top to beginning. All the details was covered. Like what I'm gonna do when I go in the studio. Like in Kano shit, I was sleeping over shit over there, going fucking crazy and coming up with shit. So that's why I retouch shit, because there's so much shit that I'm doing. I'm thinking of this song, I'm thinking of this, but I still remember I gotta add this ad lib on this song. So I'll revisit songs. But when I'm prepared when I go in the studio and I get on that for one song. When I'm prepared, it's step by step. I'll tell you everything. Oh, let's do this hook. Oh, let's fly these hooks. Let's do this intro. Let's do this verse, first verse, second verse, and I'll do it one shot right there. Then I give it a listen, and they usually came out perfect. 'Cause I had time to, really picture it and see the vision before I even did it. So that's why the preparedness comes definitely. You have to have it, you know, especially me, because if I don't do that, I'm gonna feel like I shorted myself, and I'm gonna sound whack. That shit sound whack, so the whole shit sound whack. So I got that in me, but I gotta fix every little thing. It's something like Vic. Vic said that shit that he does that too. Like it's perfection.
Right.
So
have you seen these new apps where you can like choose an instrument and then like you sing it and then they make the melody for you and stuff using that instrument?
I didn't know that, but that's what I've been doing my whole career, is doing things. I used to tell producers, like,
when I see that, I think about you and I'm like, bro, like he could totally use this to make the beat and the direction that he wants to go.
I could be a producer if I do that.
Right.
Hell yeah, if I could do that shit with my mouth and all that shit, and I knew how to work the fucking computer, the controls, I'll be a dope ass producer. But Cuban Link is an asshole in that sense too. I can do a lot of things. But it's what I could, you know what I'm saying, really get to show y'all, you know what I'm saying, projects that I've done. And unfortunately, I'll be feeling like my shit be like 85% done even when I'm done with them. Especially, and then it gets to the mixing, and then the mixing is a whole fucking different world. And then the mastering, that shit gotta be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because every time I hear something on the radio, like a song on the radio, and I compare it to mine, be like, why the fuck this shit sounds so crispy and this, you know? Even though the radio, you know, I had a fucking like a different amp also that gives you the but I want my mixes and masters to sound just like radio shit, like to compete with the level of songs and you know, memorable fucking classics that I hear on the radio. So that's my bar. Set my bar to that.
Well, because they're usually recording out of like $1 million studios and shit like that.
No, it's not even that. It's not even that. It's about frequencies, about the engineer knowing what he's doing. It's not really about that, because you could do that shit in a fucking hole in the wall in the basement and then take it to a mixer and he's gonna amp it up to where it needs to be. Most of these fucking records are on radio. Niggas doing that shit in their cribs. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it being done. And then they take it to the mixing, and that gives it the umph it needs. And then the mastering, that's another umph. And it gets it to the perfect place it needs to be. So it's a process. It's just, and it's so important on who you use and how they hear your music. You know what I'm saying? It's how they hear your music that they're going to match whatever they're hearing into actually what we hit, you know, what comes out. So that's very important.